Hello guys, it's Seeking here, and in today's video we'll be talking about how to tell when a market is changing direction, right? So basically we're going to talk about when a trend is ending. If you're new to the channel, please do me a favor by smashing the subscribe button and also liking the video. It's going to help us a lot. You can also leave a comment below about videos you want me to do next and questions on this video. All right, let's move on. All right, so markets normally move in trends, right? If it's not in a consolidation phase, then it is moving in a trend. And what they do is it either trends to the upside, which traders normally refer to as an uptrend, or trend to the downside, which normally refers to as a downtrend, right? Um, in an uptrend, we have the higher highs and the higher lows. As you guys know, if you don't know, these points are the higher highs and these points below are the higher lows in an uptrend. So let me just quickly bear with me right now, and let me just quickly, you know, there is a high, this part. I'm gonna mark all the higher highs and higher lows, and these are the higher lows, right? Higher lows. So that is what we have in an uptrend, right? So higher high, right? Higher high, right? Comes from the name higher high, right? Then a higher low, that means it's going up but it's below the higher high. So the higher low, right? Okay, so the higher lows and the higher highs. Okay, anyways, so after this, when the market is moving like this, what determines that it's gonna change direction? What actually shows that it's gonna change direction? First thing you should notice is that when the market refuses, right, to break through the previous higher high, or when the market refuses to create a new higher high, then it's gonna actually show you one scenario that the market is ending, right? The trend of the market, or the market is changing direction. Okay, so let me give you an example here. For example, let's say the market is moving like this, creates a new higher high, right? But with this higher high, it's supposed to create a new, sorry, this is a higher low, this place is a higher low. It's supposed to create a new higher high. But what if the market does not actually create a new high high, does not push through this the previous high high, but creates something or a resistance level below the previous higher high? That should tell you, that should give you a sign that, oh, the market might be changing direction. The market might be changing direction. So when you see this, you just be like, okay, let me be careful here. The market might be changing direction. It might not be always the case. As I tell you, what this actually is a high high. If the market is, let's say we pause the market for an instance, and the current price is around this zone, this market, this zone here, right? This zone is a higher low, right? This zone is a higher low. So the market can actually go up above this to create a new higher high, and you will continue on the trend, right? But when it fails to create the higher new higher high, you'll be like looking at it's breaking this support here. So the second one you're gonna be looking at, the second point is what? The breakage of or broken support level. What? So when support levels are broken, we see that, okay, the trend might be changing direction. So for example, if it fails to break a higher high first, comes down, breaks this support level here, now you'll be looking at, okay, now this becomes a, this new thing becomes a lower low, this becomes a lower low, it changes from a higher low to a lower low, then the new one becomes what? A lower high, right? This point here becomes a lower high. So now you are just waiting for price to create another lower high so that you can enter into a sell. So if price breaks through this lower low, creates another lower low, comes that doesn't break through this lower high and creates another lower high here, we are gonna say that okay, we can sell, or we are going into into a downtrend, right? So then the market might actually start moving like this, and you can see that the direction has been changed. Also, the market might actually not create this lower low here. Sometimes, because of maybe news or maybe because of the volatility of the market can actually come. Let me delete this. Let me delete this here. Um, okay, let's delete this, and let's delete this, right? Sometimes the market might actually come down, way down like this, to this zone here, and break through this zone. Now when it breaks through the zone, it's gonna be telling you, okay, now it has broken a support zone, we're looking for a change in direction. But please be careful, let it create a new lower high before you think about selling, because most of the times, even though it breaks through the support level here, it actually comes down just to take out some stops, then goes up to create a new higher high. So if you don't want to be really rush in your decisions, you wait for it to actually come down like this, create a new lower high, come down again to create a lower low, then when it's creating a new lower high, you sell around here. Do not sell around here, because most of the times people are just deceived, right? Thinking that okay, the trend is changing, but most of the time it just goes up, right? Most of the time it just goes up. So you need to be really sure that okay, this is happening, this is really changing, right? So patience is a virtue, right? Patience is a virtue. You need it. You need to be patient enough for the market to create higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, and lower lows, right? To see whether the trend is changing. Okay, then another point, third point, which is not always the case, right? But for people who love drawing trend lines, right? When a trend line is normally broken, right? When a trend line is normally broken, we might see a change in the direction of the market. But when the trend line is broken, please use it to support these two points I've already made, right? Failure to create a new higher high and broken support levels. With a trend line, the reason why I do not really use it, even though sometimes it works, is that sometimes the market might give you a trend line, a line, right? Let's take for instance that this just comes here, right? It's still a higher low here, then comes up again, right? This comes here like this and comes up again, right? Okay, now, and let's say it just forms maybe some two. Even though this place, the trend changes around this place, right? You as a trend line, if you are looking for a trend to be the trend to break, you might actually get it around, sorry, get it around this place, right? It is not bad, but sometimes using that, maybe the trend, it has already formed, right? The trend, the change of the trend has already been formed, and it might even be exhausted, right? It might actually be now going to change back to the uptrend or something like that, or changing again, right? So when you're drawing your trend lines, you need to be really careful. Or as I say, it's not always late. You can always enter the market when you feel like there is a change in trend. But when you're drawing a trend, it should support the two points I made. That is, trend failure to break in, create a new high, and broken support levels. Okay, let's actually go to the charts and see what I'm talking about. All right, so let's come here, and you're gonna see a perfect scenario of an uptrend, right? Of an uptrend, and you can see as soon as you look at the market, the chart, that the uptrend does not behave perfectly. It doesn't go as smoothly as I drew it. Um, it actually, comes, goes, and comes, right? Forming uptrend, and that is what you're gonna see in the real charts. That's how you're gonna see in the real chart. So you need to be really vigilant. You need to be really careful when you're identifying the uptrend or the downtrend, right? That is how the market is, right? Not everything is perfect. Let's move on. So in this uptrend, at this point, you can see that market creates a higher low, right? Comes and creates a higher high. Perfect scenario here. Comes that back, creates a lower low, but I'm gonna say there's a higher low, right? Let me just say a higher low for now. For now, there's a higher low. So it creates a higher low. It's supposed to create a new higher high. It's supposed to push through this, right? It's supposed to push through this point and create a new higher high, right? So that it can come down and create a new higher low, then go up. But it doesn't do that. It doesn't do that because it is at the exhaustion phase, right? It's trying to change market direction. It's trying to change the market direction. So you can see that at this point, a lower low is created. Sorry, a lower high is created. A lower high because it fails to push through this, right? This higher high. It fails to push through this higher high to create its own higher high. So this point becomes a lower high. Okay, so what I told you is that you have to wait for this to be broken, right? This to be broken to create a new lower low, which is created here. Maybe you couldn't see it, but it still broke here to this point, and here you can actually see it really well, right? You can actually see it really well, or you can also use this, right? Let's say you use this, comes down, breaks through this, so you're looking for sales. You might not be able to actually get in this one because you are maybe looking for it to maybe come around here and create a lower high, then you sell it. But there are lots of opportunities, right? Maybe you might not be able to get in here, but you can get in here. You can also get in here. You can get in here. You can get in here. You can get in here. There are lots and lots of opportunities. That is why you never rush in trading. You never rush in trading, right? So now the first factor, failure to create a new higher high. Perfect, done. Second factor, the breaking of support or the breakage of support levels. Perfect, done. And you can see that you can now enter your sales, right? You're just waiting for lower highs so that you can actually enter your sell. So you can see if you were patient, it comes here, crease, lower high. Sorry, it's too big. This is the zone I'm talking about. Anyways, it comes just creates a lower low, comes here, creates a lower high. So this is where I'll be looking to sell. This is basically where I'll be looking to sell with candlestick knowledge and everything like that. You see it forms an engulfing pattern here. You just try sell it here, and you have your risk to reward ratio. Everything is good. You see it's changing, right? Okay, now let's do this. Let's go to the trend lines. Let's go to the trend lines. Okay, so we said I was saying, with a trend line, if you do not know how and when and where to draw it, you're gonna be always late for the trends. It's not a bad thing because, as I said, the market is, you can get in at any time, right? You can get in at any time. Don't be rushed. So if you're drawing your trend line, you might actually have started here, right? Use this, right? Come here. Let me you don't need to. Okay, you can use this to come here. You have your trend line, right? You have your trend line, but you see the problem with this one is that you'll be getting in at a later time. You'll be getting in at a later time because it breaks around here. It breaks around here. You see, it comes down, breaks around here. So it comes there, it even gets inside, and that makes it confusing for you. But as a professional trader, you're gonna know that okay, there's just a fake out here, and it comes down, breaking support levels here. The perfect place to actually try to take your cells. It's not going to be around here. It's going to be actually around here. It's going to be actually around here, because if you listen to what I said, you said the breakage of support levels after the trend line break, right? So okay, this forms here, right? This forms here, comes down. You are looking at it, a lower low here, then a lower high here. So this is where you're gonna be thinking of what? Selling, right? And you see that there is actually a really late entry to this downside. It has already changed already, but better late than never, right? With a trend line, it's better to look at it really critically and know when to draw your trend line and where, right? So for me, for example, I wouldn't draw my trend line like this when it comes to this sorry when it comes to this situation. I'd actually try to look at my chart. Okay, and you should know that you shouldn't force your trend lines, right? If your trend line is not proper, do not force it. It's not supposed to be perfect, right? But do not force your trend line. It's supposed to touch at least 2 points. So 1, 2, well, a little, right? So it breaks here, and this how I would have actually drawn my trend line, right? It just breaks here. You take a part of the uptrend, draw a trend line there, see if other conditions are satisfied. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, breakage of what? Support, and trend line breakage satisfied. Then you can take your sell. So here with this, you can actually take your sell around this point, and it's gonna be perfect for you. All right, guys, that is it for this video, right? Remember the 3 main steps. First, failure to create new highs. Second, broken support levels. Third, and sometimes, right, trend line breaks for you to help you to determine when a trend or market is changing direction. Like, subscribe, do anything that's gonna help this video reach other people. It's C King, and I'm out.